What will happen when a mysterious bro who decides to end her life then jumps off the bridge? This story is about a specialist Godwin Baxter and his charming creation Bella, saved for research, resembles a toy for Bella. The film begins with a researcher named Joe Daybreak giving a talk to a gathering of specialists on life structures. The greater part of the specialists are shocked by Jaden's distorted appearance, and one of their partners named Max lets them know that Jaden is fixated on logical trials in life structures to such an extent that he leads probes himself and shows that Maximum is exceptionally dazzled with Jaden's granddad and his logical tests. After the talk, Max meets Jaden and examines with him like Heshabits, and Max is astonished when Ware requests that he assist with another logical examination, and Max so concurs and returns home with Jaden to his home. Max sees a young lady named Bella, a young lady in her 20s. However, her way of behaving is that of a 2-year-old kid. He lets Max know that Bella is the analysis he is chipping away at and lets him know that Bella has endured Sib's harm while at her body. He clarifies for Max that my heart doesn't grow rapidly and requests that he notice Bella's way of behaving and record her advancement consistently. Day from the following date, Max starts to notice Bella and record his perceptions of her way of behaving, and following 2 days Plant sees that Bella can learn 15 words per day and her psyche retains everything rapidly. He asks Max, where did you find my nation and who are my folks? Max will not reply and advises him to focus on his work. Here he comes in this evening and Jeddo is perusing a story to Bella. She gets some information about her dad and mom, and Jeddo tells her that her dad and mom were his companions, and on one occasion they left her with him. Says they were going on a logical excursion in South America, but the boat sank adrift and they died, or from that point forward he dealt with her until she grew up. The following day Max shows Bella the names and areas of nations on a tide. Max tells Bella she would rather not take off from the house. He tells her that he can't do that without Godway's assent, so Bella proceeds to let him know that she needs to go out and see the world. He clarifies that he can't deny Bella's solicitation, so he compares in who Max gets her and takes them to the recreation area, where Petco is. Bella is extremely content with all that she sees around her. Inevitably he sees that individuals are coming towards them, so he lets Bella know that they ought to return home promptly. While they're on the manor in which Bella needs to escape the vehicle to purchase ice cream, Gideon declines since he doesn't maintain that individuals should see her, so Bella shouts boisterously and battles with Godwin, so he needs to drug her so she won't cause to notice them, which is troublesome. Just for Blend was he returns home, he goes to the library and goes around and he finds a book written in subtleties of the investigation that Gideon did on Bella. When Max is stunned by everything he finds in the book, he says to his granddad that a long time back Bella hurled herself off an extension and suffocated in the ocean, and he saw her by some coincidence attempted to save her, yet when he emerged from the water she was dead, so he brought her body and welcomed it back home to probe her. He found that Bella was pregnant and the baby was as yet alive, so he concluded to do an examination and put the embryo's mind inside Bella's cerebrum, and the analysis worked and she resided in her cerebrum, created step by step in the hatchlay's mind made do, and from here on out they are viewed as his girl after he equivalent. Yeah, he didn't express no back, and that implies that Maximum ought to acknowledge Dr. Godwin offer with just a single condition: welcome to come to the specialist's home. He flew in to draft the agreement. Prior to showing up here, he was very concerned, to the point that an agreement must be drawn up too. All answers were at Dr. Godwin's home. At the point when Dunton showed up, he pardoned himself to go to the washroom before the agreement could be drawn up. During that time, I went up to a room where Bella was sitting, inquisitive to be aware. The way that Chase answered in kind by simply returning made him dazed. At that time she looked happy, like she had never been happy like this before. This made him just start thinking in his heart, if Bella came, she could have a heart like this. Would you like to give it to him or not? As night fell, the two of them arranged to talk secretly, which only made him fall in love with Bella even more, so he decided to persuade her not to. If you care about my promise, it will bind you back to this house forever, but on the other hand, this Friday, sir, I will travel to Lisbon, if the newest one pleases. She was very happy to be able to go with him. This is what she had dreamed of her whole life, which was to go on an adventure. And one day, the next day, the Bella herself didn't wait to take up this matter, but the Bella made a promise that after she finished traveling back to push her legs, she would travel back to this house to marry Mac as per your request. Dr. Golf himself wanted to run away from the house, and then the two of them rushed in to stop her according to the regulations. But that was of no use, because in the form of a doc, it had a very clear stance at this point. She would be angry and hate them forever as well. When the doctor was flying to pump money into the situation, he probably knew that he couldn't stop Bella any longer. So she had to go. Before she went, it was the doctor. Before the fly, he was given a sum of money to go back and hunt with him, but the doctor himself agreed that this sum of money must be used only in emergencies. If it is not an emergency, absolutely do not take it out and use it. After that, the adventures of Bella Captain just 1 officially started when both of them it's already been done. Bella wants to rest first than she thought, but even though she pushes up, she's not angry at the fella because for now they're both still in the promotion period and still madly in love with each other until the evening falls. I must also say that Bella behaved very inappropriately when the Bella ate fruit in the forest. It didn't taste very right to her taste, so she fattened herself out in the middle of the table, faceless, in view of the guests who were pushing her up to the table. We were shocked that the fan team behaved inappropriately while eating at the dinner table. This mouth was not enough when the little one next to me broke out and cried a lot. It annoyed Bella a lot. She spoke up in the middle of the table. What the hell was she going to slap? When are you going to stop crying at this place? Bella's Takamai is very important to the point where I would like to bring the Bella in to talk privately. She has a magical personality like that, going to secretly escape while traveling in every city, until one day the Bella had someone read her, thinking her name was Victoria, but the Bella couldn't accept the matter and took it very seriously and went to eat together before ending the night with an activity, something special that I've been waiting for every night. In the moment when you just have to look into the thigh, there's a pen mark on something, and then go straight and ask, where did it come from? When I answered honestly like an innocent person, the day before she went on a trip, a man complimented my legs and said they were really pretty. So I waited for him to prove it too, given all sorts of touching and all the man he was so heartbroken in return for his compliment that it made him hold his temples. He didn't think that the Bella would be this extreme, and after listening to him until now, he was able to guess that the Bella was likely to go. What happened here? Don't tell me that you went to sleep and have a friendly relationship with him. When I came, the Bella hurriedly replied, no, I won't do that right now. I pushed up so I felt somewhat relieved before the Bella answered. Bella was very dissatisfied with her behavior like this all over the place. Having people have emotions like this is a release, isn't it? How strange is that? Until finally she started to come to terms with it, starting to have some good ideas by walking up and telling them. In all the time you've been with me, I've never caught a mouse about your adventures, Bella. Therefore from today onwards, I will fully carry on your will. Which is worth noting. I'm happy like that. And where will we go on the way back to our house? He replied that first Bella would have to put her body in his suitcase. It was a surprise and made us excited. When we heard that, we were happy to do as Dad then said. Everything until now a luxury cruise ship that is running in the middle of the sea, which will henceforth be my beloved Bella. How will she have an adventure in the sea? It's exciting, right? The Bella doesn't even know that pushing the platform like this is indirectly in order to protect herself and go hunting herself, as she likes to flirt with other people. Everything in how she was able to live in such a limited area and go hunting had to be completely under his care. Which is the Bella's dream. Even though she is naive, she is not stupid. She knows that being on a boat like this, it was like a kind of confinement, and made her living space even more limited, and she was very dissatisfied. The two of them were now arguing more often lately. Bella clearly separated herself from the platform. She liked to walk and kick around the boat alone, releasing more again while pushing up herself and getting drunk in the alms bowl like a playboy, during which she was slipping one on a boat. She noticed a guy. So she walked in and took a look. Anyone else, the Bella would have been slapped, but luckily, Annie came to do it with her. Her grandfather's name is Henry. Both of them are very nice. They greet Bella like you and invite her to talk about various things. I have to tell them first that my Anne is coming. You've been through a lot in your life and are beginning to let things go. These are no longer attached to anything at this time. What kind of Dharma is Annie focused on? Then she took up the story which made the Bella learn about these things as well. Because there is no equality in this world. From the beginning each Bella shipped up at Alexandria City, so she wanted to show something back to the hunters to see the truth of this world, that it wasn't as beautiful as Bella had thought. Rima pointed out the living conditions of the people in Alexandria, each of whom was starving and very parched. Many people there lived in hardship. The life of that group of people, to be honest, she really couldn't come to terms with it. The Bella was very sad. Why didn't we in the boat go down and help the group of people? Why didn't we let them starve? Henry did, going to comfort the Bella and telling her honestly that this is the truth of this world, that we cannot help everyone. They cannot change Bella's mind in any way. After that the Bella without any delay, he rushed to that part of the room. just wanting to take care of any valuables, whether they were money or property, and put them in one of the boxes so he could quickly take them away, letting the people of Alexandria let them receive this money and use it so that they can live a little better than this would be good. Well, when the Bella arrived at the pier, it wasn't too late, and when the crew told her, the Bella honestly said that at this time the ship was about to leave the port and she couldn't get in. The crew asked what they were going to do with this box, so the Bella answered honestly, "There's a lot of money in this box. I'm going to donate it to the people." When I heard that, I was shocked and told the Bella that it's okay, ma'am. I'll give it to myself along with the lesson. Invite the Bella to return to rest. Please rest in your room. This mission will be done by the 2 crew members themselves. The Bella is relieved when she hears that. She happily walks back to the room without the Bella knowing that the money has already gone into the pockets of the 2 crew members, and when the Bella returned to her room, she found out that there was just a big commotion with the crew. He caught the idea that someone had stolen all my money and ordered each crew member to find him and punish the thief before the Bella could respond. I pushed my lead back. Goodness, I was the person who took it. I saw that individuals of Alexandria were in a difficult situation, so I shared the cash with the group and disseminated it to every one individuals in the city. So this evening, how about we celebrate how we helped those individuals? That is all I heard. While the Bella actually demands her unique explanation that she can't see individuals resting in their frame of mind of the ground eating in the sand like that. This is what she said. I truly expected to make it happen, so I just pushed it and I was genuinely worried. He truly couldn't sort out how to manage it. We actually haven't found him returning any pieces of information about cash or vengeance, so the skipper of the boat needs to come steady with Duncan. Frankly, you don't have a solitary penny left, so the following port should be your objective. Max Southeast is the following city where the boat will moor. It's anything but smart to express farewell to Henry and return to the port with genuineness, and because of them for showing her life illustrations, she gleaned some significant knowledge while on this boat prior to choosing to take her to Paris with no cash left. Bella get a new line of work and bring in cash, and Mace, one of the house of brothel owners lady, is exploiting a respectable lady who sees nothing about her work, who lets her whore herself for cash, and afterward she returns, yet the bank has fruit and cash. Where did the Bella get the cash from? She went ahead and activity. I've run out of liquor to the gate. You went to find a new line of work seconds ago. I just nodded off moronically briefly and got huge load of cash. She tells Duncan what she did and he gets angry because she worked as a prostitute and takes the money and leaves her alone and walks away. So Belle comes back to the brothel owner and tells her that she wants to work for her because she has no money and has no place to sleep, and of course the owner agrees. We take no. He introduces her to the work system and she prefers to work as a prostitute for a long time. Days go by and incidentally, Blah is rationing the cash she procures from her work and starts concentrating on medication. One day Blah meets Ben perchance in the city and he makes it clear to her that he is destitute and can't eat, and he tells her that he has been there for quite a while and asks her for help. However, she won't help him and leaves him, and Strohs leaves, and right now they're chipping away at another examination precisely like Boss, and the young lady they're probing is named Swaney. That obviously Bella's cerebrum isn't so evolved as hers, and she has almost no comprehension and consumes a large chunk of the day to do the things that are requested from her. The following day Max gets a letter from Duncan Kemmel, who illuminates him regarding what is befalling Bella, and he genuinely requests that Maximum travel to Paris and he won't return except if he is with her. Maximum does as Jaden says, and they travel to meet Duncan, and Max is stunned where he figures out that is working in prostitution and he can't proceed to get her from that point on the grounds that Hyatt denies him to go to these spots. Also, he is likewise reluctant to be gone after by the proprietors of the house, so he gets back to Maxwell and Jaden and advises them to leave him. He makes an impression on Rainer, or tells her that he needs to see her before he passes on, and when she receives the message she gets back home rapidly and goes to Jaden. She is extremely vexed that he will dead, and he is shocked when Beauty gets some information about the child in her stomach. We realized that Bella had a medical procedure on her body, and on the grounds that she concentrated on medication, she comprehended that she was pregnant with a child, and that Jaden was the person who carried out the procedure and took the child from her. So he begins to recount her story from start to finish. He shows her the subtleties of the surgery performed on her when he eliminated her baby's mind and placed it in her mind as an examination. She goes to the scaffold where she passed on before, where she attempts to think about her life, yet fizzles and returns without, meets Max and Pete alone and lets Max know that she knows it all. Kindly tell fought me, assuming he understood what we planned to do and didn't do it. Max tells her that at the time her brain was still extremely youthful and he didn't know whether she would figure out him or not. However, incidentally, Bella is exceptionally lenient of herself and she lets Max know that she pardons Gideon, which is the reason she is carrying on with her life once more. So Max makes a move to offer her an engagement proposition and she concurs, and upon the arrival of the wedding Bella is shocked by somebody named who keeps the function from going on, lets them know that he is her significant other and she is Victoria, and lets Alf know that he was searching for her this time and assuming that he posted her image wherever. Until Duncan saw her image and went to him and let him know where she was. Alf requests that Bella move back in with him, and Bella consents to go with him since she needs to know why she ended it all when she was pregnant. When Bella figures out that he's a maniac and that he mistreats his workers, she understands that was the person who mistreated her and that he was the explanation she took her life. So Bella advises Alf that she isn't prepared to reside with him. She says she will return to her new life yet. Alf denies and undermines her with a firearm, telling her that in the event that she goes out he will kill her. Flaw assaults him and takes the firearm from him and fires him in the leg, and Alf tumbles to the ground not accepting what's going on, and afterward Plot takes it back to Enormous Done and we as a Kana treat, and after he removes the slug from leg, Plot lets me know that the activity is finished, where Plot isn't to let him know that the activity is going to begin and requests that he anesthetize. Mix is confused by her words and doesn't have the foggiest idea what she means, however he does all that. She requests that he do. The following day they find Bimut, who leaves without him and embraces him, and she and Max B are as yet irritated about his demise. Inevitably we figure out that Bella had done operation and transfer his brain to a goat who has improved and is now able to comprehend and understand everything that is asked of her, and is without a base in the garden, enjoying the sight of and behaving like a goat and bee in the foliage. She is no longer interested in the person who ruined her life, and her biggest fear is that she will die herself.